So it's not about what you do in life, it's always about who you do it with. Every day, you're either walking this world with God or with the evil. And Jesus says 1,000 times a day you should ask yourself that question. Who am I walking with? Because you have to be thinking with one or the other. At no time are you in neither camp. Yeah? Okay. Now, you want to see something cool? Right. A big part of what forgiveness is projection. If you don't understand what projection is, you'll never understand what forgiveness is. If you don't understand what forgiveness is, you'll never understand what projection is. The two of them go hand in hand. So let's say this is you. Okay? And you're inside the ego thought system. Alright? And inside the ego thought system, there's a collection of thoughts. Isn't that right? Okay? So what happens here is, let's say we have a thought here, and the thought is guilt. Okay? So this is how projection works. Byron Katie says, with thoughts we're inquiring and attaching all the time. We're always asking questions of thoughts, and we're either attaching ourselves or inquiring all the times to thoughts, which give thoughts energy. Isn't that so? So the way this works, this is you, separate the self in the middle. Here's the thought, and this is how projection works. You go from here, and you look through this thought. You attach yourself to this thought, and now what happens is this. Looks like ET. Okay, so what happens is this. That thought, you're looking through it, and you're projecting it on to these people in your life. So this could be what someone was guilty of what they said to you. This could be someone was guilty of what they did to you. Could be a story about someone who didn't help you. Do you understand? So by this one thought, all of a sudden, we have a collection of stories, dramas in our life, all looking through that one thought. Yeah? Let's look at another thought. Thought of fear. Same thing happens, right? We could put in here, we could put in things on the planet. Fearful of rats, spiders, mice, flying. Or we can go people. Okay? So now we have a whole number of stories here, all attached to this thought here that we're looking through. Let's look at another thought. Say we have sin over here. Okay? And again, this is all the people that we see as sinful in the world. So we have a collection of stories about these people. Yeah? You follow me so far? Yeah. All right. Remember, we're in the ego thought system of sin, guilt, and fear. All right. Maybe then there's worthlessness. And then what is going to happen? We're going to basically see worthless people. Yeah?
Or seeing ourselves, and then we could be one of them people. You know?
You're actually going to be one of them.
Yeah.
And then what's another thought that we could look through? Judgment. Now we're very judgmental on a whole lot of people. All right? So, and this is you here at the center. So you can see now how you create your world. Okay? If you're holding the thoughts of sin, guilt, and fear in your life, what you're going to do is look through the thought of guilt, and what you're going to do is project that on to people in your life. Now, this is your whole life. All right? And what you're doing is you're attaching, you're inquiring in thoughts, you're attaching yourself to them. Now you're looking through the specter of that thought. And you're projecting that thought now onto all these people in your life. So you're creating this by choosing to look through these thoughts of guilt. So people who are, you can see, thoughts work on vibration. The heavier the thoughts, okay, the denser the vibration, the lower you're going to be in the scale of things. All right? So this would be the darkest dream possible for somebody. Other people's, they might be a little bit annoying, so that this little thought of annoyance, what they'll do is they'll hold on to that thought, and then everything will annoy them. Especially they'll have one person. No matter what that person does, you'll be annoyed with them. Even when they're actually doing something right, you're annoyed with them. Isn't that so? The reason is because the way that you're seeing them, you're looking them through the thought of annoyance. You can't see them any other way. Is it very quiet?
It just occurs to me, I think this has come up before, that when you have issues, shall we say, with somebody in your life, or somebody, what I find difficult is to,
Speak up a bit.
sorry, what I find difficult is when you've got an issue with somebody about something, I think it comes back to what you were saying about level 2. You're actually reacting, but you're pretending you're not. So if I have an issue with somebody, pretending it's not there is not going to resolve it. Okay, if I have an issue with somebody, it's not a good idea to project my own fear, guilt, judgment onto them. But if I have an actual issue, it's just really helping me to resolve it.
I haven't a clue what you're talking about.
You're talking about here that
Does
you
anybody
project.
help me out here? Seriously?
Are you asking
do
how to
if you have
resolve
an
it when you have an
issue?
issue with someone?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
right.
Because that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
You forgive
Yes,
it.
that's what I said.
Right. Did you need help to resolve an issue? Or what?
Yeah.
All right, I was getting to that point. If you would just give me a minute, I'll get there.
Sorry.
All right. Right. So that's okay. Understanding this is one part. All right. What do we do about it?
Choose again.
Remember, just before any quick answers comes out, go to the mechanical end of this. Cause and effect. Cause and effect is how the whole ego thought system works. If you know how it works, you can make the ego work for you. If you don't know how it works, then the ego will work against you. A lot of people have turned the ego into an entity, into this big battle. They have given it all of that energy. The ego just loves it. So what do we do about this? With everything that we know at the moment, how do we cure this? How do we create a different world for ourselves?
You create other thoughts, positive thoughts. Like those are all negative.
Right, right, but the cup is already full in it. All right, you know what the cup is? Mind, and it's full with these thoughts. And the old Eastern philosophy was empty the cup. So how do we empty the cup?
Meditation.
More practical, Joe. More practical.
Forgiveness.
Just forgiveness.
Yeah, forgiveness is the tool we're going to use, but what is the mechanism? What is the cause and effect that we're going to do this?
You take back the aspect that you've projected out into your mind.
You recognize that it's you and not the other person.
You see, I want to give you the answer, but I don't want to give you the answer either. Work for it.
Recognize that they're illusions.
But you already know that at this stage. The point is, what we're doing is we know that already now. The point is, what do we do about it? Right now. We have all the evidence here in front of us. It's kind of like, we know the picture now. All right? So, what do we do with the picture? How do we change the picture? Because there's one way you can do this, and it ain't going to change anything. There's one way you can do this, and it's going to change it very quickly. So the most obvious thing here would be to let go of the thought. Wasn't that right? Yeah? Everybody agree? Anybody don't agree?
No, I think experience it completely and realise it's coming from me.
Yeah, own it.
Own the thought.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, but it's not the right answer. And neither is the thought, not yet. What else do we need? Before we look at the thought, what do we need to do? What keeps the thought in place?
You're believing.
Of course,
Attention, your
that's belief.
attention.
But what else keeps the thought in place? Something even, I said it here a couple of times when I was doing this picture,
Attachment,
which is,
judgment,
no,
Identity, you identify yourself as the thought.
being outside of
You
yourself.
don't
No.
realise
we already know that.
Right, give us another clue.
I'll go back to America. Right. You have you here looking through the spectre of a guilty thought here, and that is creating these people into your world. Isn't that right? So these are all the stories, the dramas that each individual guilty thought that you have. You cannot remove the thought without letting the stories go first. Because it's the stories, the drama, that keeps the
That's
thought
back to projection.
in your awareness. Okay?
is this HF like?
Yeah,
It's rationalisation then.
of course, yeah. It doesn't matter. But
Same
what,
word though for
yeah,
having
exactly,
a story. Yeah.
exactly. What we have to do is, right, let's say for example, right, you have said something that hurt me. All right, and the world's turned, then I'm right to be angry with you. You know, and I'm right to be pissed off with you and blah, blah, blah. But we're doing a Course of Miracles. And now the truth is, what Cora said with the rationalization is, there's no way that you could have hurt me by what you said. All hurt has already been inside. As long as you continue to hold the story that someone's guilty of something, the drama that's in the world, and we can see it all around. Okay, as long as you're attached to those stories, then you're keeping the thought in place. Okay? The whole point of our attachments is to let them go. So it's the same with fear. In complete forgiveness, we bring the fear to the truth. It's got nothing to do with the story anymore. I'm not afraid of flying. I'm not afraid of rats or snakes or spiders or anything. That's ridiculous. Okay, the world and what's in the world is showing you the fear that's inside yourself. Now you have the opportunity to let this go. By letting the story go, and you bring the thought to truth. You bring the thought back inside.
But in reality, a person that has a fear of flying, and you know, and will persist in just flying, try to defeat the fear,
Mhm.
but the fear still remains. Do you
Of course
understand
it
me?
is. Of course it is.
How do how do you cut that?
But that's what complete forgiveness does. That's what complete forgiveness does. Every time now when you go flying, what that person's doing is they're going to basically suppress the fear
But that's
and go through it.
yeah.
Okay, but eventually every time that they do this, they're going to go through the same process for suppressing fear. Problem with suppressing fear is you're going to project guilt. You know, it's not a nice experience. So the only way that you can do this is to look at the story, for them to look at that story of flying, and them to say, right, I'm willing now to not accept that this story is true. That I can bring this emotion to the truth. So what they're doing is, you know, the airplane, it's going to be the airplane, but anyway, here. So every time that they go flying now, this emotion of fear comes up inside, that they use that now to heal their mind, they use it to waken up. See where it goes? Everything the ego uses to harm you, Holy Spirit can use to heal you. So there will come a time when that person will fly and be no more fear. So they've used that whole experience now to heal their mind. So it's not always about people. You know, allow the world and everything that's in it for you to react to it so it can heal your mind. And it's the same with pain in the body. You know, you can use any physical pain in the body to heal your mind. That's a forgiveness lesson. Psychological pain, emotional pain, all can be used because it's all coming from the same source, isn't it? It's coming from the belief in separation. So here you have now your whole world here that you're creating, and I'm not talking about the world out there. I'm talking about your little world in your own family and your own community. As long as you're holding these thoughts, then you will be projecting these thoughts to that little circle of people around you, which becomes your own personal world.
does every reaction that or thought that you suppress cause guilt?
But guilt's only a word at the end of the day. What's another word for guilt? Anger, hatred, fear.
Bad.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a word at the end of the day. But everything that you suppress, remember, fear protects guilt. So when you suppress fear, guilt's going to come rushing out in your projection. So everything you suppress will be projected out sooner or later. So the whole point of this, right, and let's look at it from the other perspective. Okay, here you are now in the Holy Spirit's thingy, and now the thought is love. And you project that onto people. And you have peace. You have compassion. You have all of these thoughts here that's in the true right mind. And when you'll be looking through these spectra, then you're projecting all these thoughts onto the people in your world. You're always looking through a thought. There's never a time when you're not looking through a thought. But your choice is, which thought do you want to look through? Yeah? So the way we get to this stage is bang, bang. We have to start severing all the attachments, all the dramas.
Sorry, you have to what?
Sever. Now I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. And this piece of advice will be the best piece of advice you've ever got. Whether you want to keep it or not, that's up to you. Now, everything outside of you, right, this world and all the people in it, is duality. Isn't that right? What is duality? It's right and wrong.
Yes.
Guilty and innocent.
Black, white.
All
It's
right.
having an opposite.
Here's one thing that I never do and never will do ever again. I never pick a side.
You never?
Pick a side. Do you know why? Because the side that I pick, I must defend it. And what are all defenses? Attacks. So that means I pick the side. To defend that side, I have to attack the other side. You look at it this way. Look at politics, and I use this in America. You have the Democrats and you have the Republicans. Okay, half the country's choosing the Democrats. What's their philosophy? To protect that, they attack the Republicans.
What about when you're watching Arsenal?
Yes. I was going to
I attack the manager. Especially after I couldn't believe the first game of the season. We're supposed to be favourites to win this year and we lost to West Ham. What's going on, David? Benzema's on the
There
way.
shows you West Ham.
So, really, getting back to this. This is what it's all about. This is what forgiveness is. All right. What forgiveness does, forgiveness severs the attachments to the drama. I will never pick a side outside. You know when Buddha said the middle way? That's what he was talking about. He was born rich, okay, very rich and protected from all sickness and death and all of that, and then when he became aware of it, he went to the other extreme. He went into an ascetic lifestyle where he starved himself. I think he was eating.
Who's that?
Buddha.
Oh yeah.
He was eating bird poo in the forest at one stage and he was skin and bones. But he quickly realized that the middle way was the only way. And that means he had no attachments. No attachments. And this is the way in life that I live my life, that no matter what drama comes into your life, and your family, your friends, every day will be presenting you with a drama. They'll be presenting you with a story. And they will insist that you pick a side. Don't do it, because if you do, that means now you have to attack the other side as that defense of choosing this side. And it's the same in work.
Michael, can I just ask you, can you pick a side, with somebody
But be aware that it's an illusionary
Yes.
thing.
Awareness
So
is the
hold
key.
that
Awareness is
awareness.
the key. You stop picking sides until you become fully centered, and after that, then you will have a voice, but you're not attached to it. So you have to go to that complete detachment, be in your center. All right, you can't do that. That would be, basically the ego would love that. You know, that you're still outside yourself, and you're picking a side. Now you're kind of coming from the ego right mind. Oh, this is the right thing to do. This is the holy thing to do. Do you know what I mean? The whole point of this, the only way you can be sure that you're doing this correctly is to sever the attachments to all drama and all the stories of your life. Come back into your center. Remember what this course starts off with, right? Jesus says, don't seek to change the world, change your mind about the world first. But you must change your mind completely first. Okay? And that means you have to be detached completely from the drama that's in your life. You see, there's a drama going out there all the time. And it doesn't matter whether you pick right or wrong. It doesn't matter. That's the whole illusion of dragging you into the drama. Okay, once you pick a side, you lose the observer, and now you're in, to the actor, you're in the drama once more. When you're in your center, all right, you're sitting back, and you're looking at the film, and the projection's going on. That is what is. What's going on up there. What's going on in front of you. But if you pick a side in the film, all right, you automatically project yourself from sitting in the audience to being in the drama itself. And once you're in the drama, you will feel it. Because you can't attack someone else and feel good about it. Not even if you think that you're morally right.